Hey everyone, it's me, Liv. Got my messy hands already because I was working on another project, but I'm going to pull together two super quick cards. So I had made this background with some Distress inks a while ago. It's been sitting on my desk. All I did to get those water drops was to go ahead and splatter it with some water and then wipe it up. So I'm pulling out my Brutus Monroe stencil. This is called a Deco Flower. And I'm just going to go ahead and very quickly use the glitter glaze. So if you haven't used it, this is just a really simple way to create a background. And when you do an ombre type of background like you saw me do here, it's going to be super simple. So all you have to do is make sure you get nice, even coverage. I was playing with another glitter glaze as well, and I see that I got a tad bit of it into this project because I didn't clean up as well as I should, which is one of my weaknesses. But anyway, all you're going to do is put a super quick layer on, and I want to show you. So now that I got nice even coverage, you're going to lift it up, and isn't that just gorgeous? Hold on, I'm trying to pick it up without messing it up, but look at that. This is such a cool effect, especially when you have ombre paper. I did end up drying it off for a little bit because I do find that the glitter glaze takes a little bit to set. So you won't be able to use it instantaneously if that's what you think. So now that I've got it mounted onto a piece of cardstock, I'm then going to go ahead and use a die that I have from Stamplerations. When I was a guest designer, I ended up buying a bunch of awesome dies that they have. They have great prices if you're looking for that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and trim this out. One of the things that I do when I'm using dies like this sometimes is to try to make an entire adhesive sheet. So what I did is mounted this piece of black cardstock onto already a full adhesive sheet. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this die, which just makes the whole process a lot easier. And of course, I can use that backing for something else. I also decided to save a piece of the paper that I had trimmed off, and I'm going to put it underneath as a border. I went ahead and put that little border piece, and now you can see, because I created that whole adhesive strip, the whole little thing of the words is sticky, which just makes it a lot easier to work with when you're dealing with delicate words. Now, just to get the sentiment onto the card, and then I am going to again pull out those detailed accents that I am loving so much over from Brutus Monroe. It is in that same bluish color, and I'm going to use it as the dot for an eye for the sentiment that says celebrate big. And so this card is done. I am super happy of creating something simple. Now I actually have this leftover piece of paper that I created when I was creating some ATCs that I'm going to show you in another video. And I figured I'm going to go ahead and try to make a mixed media card front. I am trying to just make sure I angled it properly so that it comes out with two triangles. So now that I have that trimmed out, I'm going to go ahead and mount it onto this piece of cardstock and get started. I'm just using my regular old runner tape here just to get it secured down. And once I have that, then I'm going to go ahead and take out some of the sentiments that I have in my stash that I think would work well. Just be careful when you are putting something like this, because I'm purposely going to leave a space where my sentiment is going to lie. And what I would want to do is make sure that it's nice and even on both sides. So once I glue it down, I felt it was still a little bit too plain, so I'm going to be digging in my stamps just to see if I can find something just to jazz up the paper a little bit. So I found this butterfly set here that's going to be super simple to use. I'm only going to take one of the butterflies and pretty much stamp it and create my own background with it. I am going to be using black ink just to make it stand out, but it's not going to be a heavy black ink because that's not really what I'm looking to do. And again, for me, there's really no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to do scattered butterflies throughout both sides of the paper and just keep on going. Some hanging off, some being on. You know, it kind of creates that effect that it's more like a piece of decorated paper then some purples for stamping, and that you've made your own background with it. So make sure you do both sides, both angles, and it doesn't have to be perfect because, again, this is kind of a mixed media inspired, which is one of the things I love about mixed media. It's not about being perfect. It's just about being unique, really. So now that I have that all set, I found a sentiment that would work in the center that I pulled out from my sentiment stash, because as you know, I have a ton of sentiments in my stash, as well as a bunch of pre-cuts. So now that I have that down, I again felt it was still just not coming together. I figure I'd do a little bit of inking on it. Again, bringing out that purple color, kind of dulled down that yellow just a little because the yellow cardstock that I used was pretty bright, which wasn't bad, but I just think it was too bright based on the yellow that I had in the cardstock. So now that I have that, I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of sponging, both in the center to dull down that yellow, get that sentiment dull down a little bit as well too. And then now I feel like it kind of works together and the colors don't clash at all. So that is my finished project for card number 2. It never actually hurts to do a little of inking all around the edges too. If you find that your cardstock's just a little bit too bright, it kind of grunches it up, and it's just an effect that I personally like if you're like into that. And here are my finished cards. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.